Today, I've got Anthony, Managing Director for Vantage Auto, and Melvin, the General Manager for Harmony Auto. And we're going to talk about BYD and an upcoming new luxury brand, DENZA, that's coming soon to Singapore. Click subscribe to stay updated to more videos on EVs. Let's start with Anthony.
Right.
You've had many years of experience in the automotive industry, working across many premium brands, luxury brands. Singapore has never seen a brand like BYD rise to the top like under 2 years so quickly.
Yep.
While there's been BYD E6 in the past,
Yes.
the past 2 years has been very transformative for BYD.
Definitely.
What is behind this success?
I think first and foremost is we knowing the market. We have been actually working with BYD since 1997. So with the past few years, we actually do not have any EV product to sell initially. So with us knowing the market, so we actually feedback to our principal what are the product that actually Singaporean is looking at. So with the start, they actually introduced the E6.
Yeah.
E6 is a B2B product. So it started off to work with a fleet owner like ComfortDelGro and like this Singapore electric vehicle that actually initially bought our vehicle. And that actually created the awareness. And more people realized that the importance of actually driving an EV to actually help to drive the greener environment. That we understand that actually internal combustion vehicle produce a lot of the emission that actually is harmful to all of us. So with the EV, we realized that actually you can drive a car that actually is safe, highly technological advanced in terms of features, options. At the same time, you help to save the earth. So with that, with us knowing the market and our principal being very supportive and having great product, after introducing E6, which is a success, they actually introduced the Atto 3 in 2022. Since the introduction of Atto 3, it's very well liked by the general public, and that's where people know the brand more and more, BYD, and they actually accepted it as a very high quality product, very advanced, high technology product as well. So with that, people are accepting BYD more and more, and we can see that the registration number just keep increasing year over year.
Right.
Yes.
At this rate, the BYD Atto 3 is one of the top selling cars in Singapore.
Indeed, yes.
And Anthony mentioned about us listening and understanding the market. When the BYD Atto 3 was first launched 2 years ago, it started as a Cat B car. And we realized that in small city urban driving,
Yep.
many people are happy with the Cat A too.
Yep.
It isn't really a compromise, unlike driving the whole peninsula of Malaysia or driving in Germany, for instance. And the Cat A car was really popular.
Yes.
Yeah, it
in
made it
fact.
more affordable and became really popular. I'll say that the bulk of the BYD Atto 3s you see on the road today are the Cat A versions.
In fact, and why we are able to grow so fast, as I said, one of the reasons is because our principal, they actually brought in very good product, but at the same time, they actually listened to what the market wants. Initially, when the Atto 3 was launched, it was actually Cat B. But when I talked to my principal, I said that actually in Singapore, like what you mentioned, we actually need a Cat A car. And because of our COA system, a very unique system that usually Cat A and Cat B, there's a premium differences, right? So with that in mind, I actually spoke to my principal, and my principal, in front of me, actually make a call to the factory colleague and said, hey, we Singapore need a Cat A. And in fact, after the call, he said, okay, within 2 months, we should be able to get a Cat A car. So that's how fast the speed of BYD. And with the kind of speed and the kind of support that we're getting from the principal, we're able to grow so fast. And we're proud to announce here that as of from January to July, we're the best-selling car in Singapore.
It's amazing.
As good the parent importer, yeah.
And that's a huge testament to the success.
In fact, it is, yeah.
Now, the brand strategy, while making EVs affordable to everyone, they are also taking this momentum to launch DENZA. And that's where Melvin's team comes in as well. DENZA is BYD's luxury brand. So BYD is 4 global brands. And DENZA is coming in first with an MPV. So as you think about bringing an MPV in, so we know in Singapore, like majority of cars are SUVs and sedans. I think about 80% of the market are SUV and sedans. What role do you see DENZA and these MPVs playing?
First of all, I think that let's talk about the MPV. Previously, there's a bit of a range like Toyota Alphard. It's been very well accepted in Singapore, especially for those families with they needs to shuffle their families around, their kids to school, or even that in MNC company they use it as their limousine vehicles for their guests. Yeah. So we do see that the demand of MPV is getting higher and higher, and it's also it becomes a status of certain businessmen.
Yes.
Yes, correct. That's why when we realized that DENZA itself is the first full-size MPV that provide the luxury, okay, without compromising the technology that bring out to the market, which will be outselling all other brands. Yeah.
That's important because we've seen so much innovation and change in sedans and SUV on the BYD side. And the Toyota Alphard and Velfire have been market leaders fairly for a long time. And now we're seeing innovation, change coming in.
Yes.
People aren't just buying an EV, they want a better vehicle.
Yes.
And sometimes a better vehicle is one that is quieter, it's safer, there's better use of technology. So when you think about, again, from the masses for BYD all the way up to the luxury that DENZA brings in, so people say that Singapore is already a very small car market. And then some people say, well, BYD is working with many partners.
Yes.
How do you work effectively in a small car market and also with several partners in the market?
Okay, we don't call ourselves a partner. We call ourselves a family. Yeah, we don't really saying that it's my competitors or it's a different company. We work as a families. We always come up with the same strategy and same directions of how should we market the products and bring it to our customers. I think right now the main difference itself is that for Harmony itself, as in China, we're actually dealing with all those luxury brands. So what we are going to do is that we're going to bring in a very premium luxury service into Singapore itself to cater for the customers. Yeah, so we are trying to do it in a very different way, whereby different from traditional marketing, like it's just more on sales. We are going to more on getting close to our customers, provide them a premium service, and building out the relationship rather than just selling them a car. Yes.
Maybe just like to add on, just I mentioned our partner, like I say, we actually have family members. For under the BYD, we are the sole distributor, and we have 3 dealers working with us very closely. So we align our strategy, we know how we are trying to conquer market, and we all have our strength in actually reaching out to different segment of customers. So when it comes to DENZA, Harmony, they actually have deal with a lot of luxury car in the China market or even out of the China market. For us, some we also dealt with super luxury car like the Rolls-Royce, BMW. So we all come with this premium experience. So with that, now being BYD Singapore as a distributor, we both as the dealer, but we're all aligned. And we all know that what we want is to offer more options for the customers. So BYD already they are saying that offering most to the mass market. Now for the DENZA, we want to actually up the game. We want to offer something more premium and give customer more choices. And definitely, if customer is thinking of changing to a MPV, really a full-size MPV, I think they can consider DENZA. No other than other choice. DENZA is the only choice they can consider, and definitely with the technology they put into the car, with the quality build, and you attended the DENZA roll-up this morning, you will understand that in China, they're already number 1. They're already the market leader in terms of MPV, in terms of luxury brand, in terms of the positioning. So in Singapore, we are confident together with Harmony, we're able to drive the sales of DENZA to the new height.
We learned this morning that DENZA has reached a production milestone of 200,000 vehicles produced. What do you see as the market for DENZA? Is it to replace existing MPVs on the road, or do you think there are new entrants into the MPV market?
Okay, I think first and foremost, we all know that the MPV market now is dominated by the T brand. Okay, but they are mainly focused on the internal combustion engine vehicles. So I think there is a gap that if people are really looking for more greener solution, more greener transport, I think they actually can consider switching to a hybrid, which DENZA is also very famous for their DMI. And then on the other hand, is that if really like Singapore is going full throttle on the EV, with that they also have EV options. Okay. So that's definitely a great option for those customers really want to switch from a ICE vehicle to a BEV.
I think for limousine services itself, let's say talk about all those big hotels, all this, I think they are started to be our sustainability. Yeah, so I think that most of them will started to look into have a replacement of their current IC vehicles into EV, which is that I think that DENZA will fit into their corporate image itself, yeah, and will give their customers a more safety and more pleasant ride.
I agree, and there's just so much potential in that market to drive EV adoption, just like how it's happened for the rest of the car market. One last question. Given BYD has a good fleet of cars from the Dolphin all the way up to the Seal, I see so many of them on the road now. More will be coming. However, when we look at the volumes, the Atto 3 definitely is a large volume driver. And as we think about innovation, what's one or two things that we want to bring in future versions of the Atto 3?
Okay, I think this is probably a question more to our principal, but personally, after working with BYD for so many years, I believe they are constantly improving themselves. And an important thing is that they always hear what the market wants. So I believe moving forward, the car will be probably more interactive. And it also often refers to a car can be turned into an office, mobile office in the future. I believe more and more technology will be put into the car. Maybe in the near future, you may have autonomous drive, you may have actually able to further increase the range of the vehicle. So that maybe by one charge, you can drive it for 1 month, for that example. Right, so I think technology is keep improving and a lot of innovation is put into it. And BYD is very proud to be one of the company that invested a lot in the R&D. So they have a lot of engineers being employed every year to actually make sure that they actually put in all the efforts to innovate and make sure the product is always the best that the customer can get in the market.
Happy to hear that. When I road trip to Malaysia, I see so many BYD Atto 3s, both Malaysian and Singaporean cars. When I talk to many drivers and ask what's the one thing we could get, I think the ask is continue upgrading the charging speed. So AC 11 kilowatts, DC 150 kilowatts, and road trips would be so fun.
Yes. In fact, you're right. In Malaysia, I see a lot of Singaporean cars that actually also drive into Malaysia. And I think first and foremost, because the range itself is about 400 to 500 kilometers, is good enough for you for a short trip, even to to Malaysia JB or even further up a bit. And then in Malaysia, the charging network also pretty mature. There's also quite a more charging area, whereby we also quite often drive up to Malaysia, especially our HQ is in KL. So very often we actually drive our EV car up. So it's no issue finding charger along the way as well.
Yep. Thank you so much, Anthony.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melvin.
Thank you.
Learn a lot from both of you.
Thank you, Daren.
And thank you for doing your part in just helping Singapore, our country, achieve our 2030 green plan. By 2030, the country will ban sales of all pure new ICE cars. And so smart buyers are thinking about EVs, not just because it's more sustainable, but just because they're also a better vehicle, safer and more fun for your family. If you found this video useful, please click the like button and hit subscribe to stay updated to more videos on electric vehicles.